What's going on? This is Shango Ray. Welcome to the new moon for February 2023. I'm your host with the most. That's right, the official panty wetter, goddess getter, your golden god. You're probably wondering, well, maybe you're not, but it's been like a month and some change, I think, since I last shaved. Okay, I'm going through this training period, and part of my little weirdo thing that just I do, you've probably seen, maybe you've seen different things where fighters or somebody, when they're in training camp, they don't shave, they don't whatever, because they're focused on what they're training. So for me, this has been also a period of reset, but more important than reset is replace. And in replacing, retraining your mind in all the beautiful, divine, different ways that you want to, right? This new moon energy read for the elements, fire, water, earth, air, is brought to you by our new, revamped, empowered custom spirit servants that are off the chain, okay? New technologies have been employed. New techniques have been learned, tried and tested, all right? This is that shit, okay? This is that shit. I'm going to give you one example too. How important your birth date is in the creation of a spirit servant. You won't hear that nowhere else, because that particular day has a particular frequency. And that particular frequency is very important to your custom spirit servant. So if you're tired of, let's say, begging or groveling at other known gods or goddesses, deities, hoping that they grant your wish, first of all, you started off in the wrong way, because we don't grovel, we don't beg, okay? We command. That's your first mistake. You got to start off as the god or goddess. You got to start off from that place of authority, of knowing. Of course, have respect for the energies and forces that you are commanding, but they are there for you to command. But these custom spirit servants, whether you want one for your finances, whether you want one for your relationships, maybe you want one for your health. Maybe you could use a custom spirit servant to help get your ass in the gym, get that body that you really want. Maybe you want one for protection, fortification. Whatever you need it for, we can design it and we can get that to you, okay? But this is where people fuck up with custom spirit servants. When you receive your custom spirit servant, this is what you can expect. Within a week to a week and a half, you'll start to see these. Often, typically, they're more minimal, but smaller little manifestations, little results, okay? There's an incubation period, but you have to be consistent even after the incubation period. The incubation period, as far as you're concerned, when you receive your custom spirit servant, is the bonding process. It becomes like the way a gunman, his gun becomes a part of him, an extension of him. That's how your custom spirit servants begin to work. So imagine I go and have a baby with a broad and I give you the baby. What are some things that you still have to do with that baby? You got to feed it. You got to course correct it. Okay? Because your custom spirit servant is gaining its own intelligence, but it's also gaining intelligence, especially within the realm of why it was created for you. So it takes the misses and turns them into hits. Okay. So it's taking this data and it's processing the data. Okay. So it needs to be course corrected. I do show you clearly, simply how you can do that. But there's, like I said, new technologies that have been employed, which I've seen that skyrocket the ability and the power exponentially of your custom spirit servant to be able to manipulate physical matter and physical circumstances and occurrences, often called happenstance. But if you're interested in that, you want to look into the comment section I'm going to pin it in the comment section. And then underneath that, I'm going to have the timestamps for the elements. Let's get into it. We're going to start with water. I'm not sure what the new moon is on the 19th. I believe it's Pisces. I might be wrong. I think it is Pisces. Yes, it's Pisces. It's Pisces. But we're going to start with Pisces. All right. I mean, we're going to start with the water signs, which include Pisces, but Cancer, Scorpio, and of course Pisces. The Krusty Krabs, the Krabby Patties, okay, the Scorpinos, and yes, the Pisces. All right. So without further ado, I'm zoning in right now on you water signs. Okay. This is what that new moon energy is talking about, though. Show me what this new moon energy is talking about and give me the words to transcribe it to my wonderful, beautiful audience. It's my intention that you've been quite well. And of course, in water sign fashion, seems to be some emotion coming out here. All right. And what is the... Okay, so we're doing 5 cards. I'm just going to move through this briefly because we're going to go through all of these, okay? So this is the hidden element, okay? It's that 10 of Cups. That 10 of Cups, all right? This is going to a new level of things, okay? Now, what I think some of you... First of all, I feel like some of you water signs... You guys are coming out of this kind of state of blahs. I call it the state of blahs, you know. And to me, a lot of times, apathy, you could call it. The state of blahs is often worse than pain because the state of blahs it feels so numbing. You almost want to feel something. And many of you water signs have probably gone and started some shit or created some type of emotional tension just so you can feel something. All right. Here are your cards here, though. The 8 of Clubs. You want to watch out. Okay, with this 8 of Clubs, I'm also getting that somebody kind of has maybe an edge on you as far as mentally. Maybe perhaps there's somebody in your life right now that they know how to push your buttons. Some of you water signs are also people pleasers or have a bad case of the people pleasies. All right. You got to learn how to establish your boundaries. Okay. As it pertains to relationships, for some of you, this is a relationship. Okay. Let's not bullshit. This is a relationship. You're kind of the one being controlled. You might be also the one doing the controlling, though. Why would you feel you got to be so controlling? You got to control everything or else what? It's all going to mess up, right? So the root from all that is usually fear. All right. Here's the other card. This is what's kind of letting me know that 7 of Cups reversed. This is also, to me, this card is saying that some of you, a lot of you water signs anyways, who are watching this, who this is supposed to resonate for, you're getting lost in the sauce. Whatever the relationship is or the situation that you're constantly feeding your emotions to right now is also acting as like a distraction to keep you from dealing with certain things that you got going within yourself. Okay. Also do remember how you treat yourself and truly think and feel about yourself will be reflected back to you. Not what you just mentally would like to think that you think and feel about yourself, but what you truly feel about yourself. All right. So for some of you, you truly don't feel like you really deserve love. So either you push it away or you deal with somebody who likes to kind of like dingle dangle it from you. All right. Moving along, 9 of Cups. This is a loss of love. For some of you, this is actually coming to an end, whatever this period is. It's going to be emotional. The ending is going to be emotional. There's probably going to be some pain, okay? Because a lot of times endings do come with pain. But it's much needed, all right? It's much needed. There may even be a transition that some of you water signs experience shortly after the new moon. And I don't mean to say this as far as like to create any hypochondriacs or to create any fear, because that's not what it's about. But I have to say it the way it does come. So, I mean, but for most of you, this transition or death is going to be in another form. Okay, it's going to just be the completion of something, the ending of something. All right. So, and yes, I do feel it's going to be a relationship for a lot of you water signs. For a lot of you water signs. But that's going to be the only way that you start to really understand and get a hold of your own value. Okay? Sometimes the door has to close before you can go into the other door. And that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. This is also going to be a time that a lot of you water signs can use these lower emotions, I guess you could say. But I don't like to really even label them like that. It's just they don't feel too great. You know what I'm saying? They can be painful, but they can also be the biggest catalyst for change, especially when channeled or expressed correctly. All right. So you also have that going on. Okay. For some of you, it's going to be also cutting loose. There are maybe not entirely, but really changing the way and changing the boundary structure between you and certain family members as well. All right. Also, this is going to be a time for some of you. It's time. Some of you have also been in I get there's a water sign out there. You've been holding yourself back because of the relationship. Actually, you guys are both holding each other back. But what I'm saying is because some of the things you want to do, your partner would probably feel insecure about you doing that because you're going to be around other, women or men or whatever, whoever or whatever the threat is, in your relationship or whatever. But the reason I'm saying this is because I see you beginning to work with, communicate with groups of people, especially groups of women. I don't know, but in a passionate way, something that you are passionate about. So that is a good thing. All right, let's move it on to, we got water here. So what else are we going to do here? I guess we're going to go with fire. I can't hold it back. We got to go with the fire. We got to go with the fire. Okay. We're going to make some steam now. So show me what I need to see for the fire signs here. What do I have for the fire signs? What do I have for the fire signs? And also, this just in for the water sign though. I hate when they do this. Like I'm already shuffling for another thing. But anyways, maybe you've been kind of fiddle-faddling with just seat fillers. You know what I'm saying? But this is actually time to start putting yourself out there for the kind of relationship that you really want. I don't know who that's for, but like that's what you're about to do. So some of these ends need to be cut because going into this next phase, you can't be with whoever you were with or even surround yourself with those who you were with into the new territory. If you're one of those brave souls who's stepping out of their comfort zone, God bless you. Okay. Those of you who are just trying to keep the status quo and just trying to keep shit the same, you're gonna be in for an extremely trying time. Fire signs. Fire signs. Fire signs. All we get is fire up in this bitch. Almost. Hold on. Okay, and what is the hidden card? What are we talking about? Oh shit. Look out, fire signs. What is this? Well, yeah, this is what I would say is like a joker to me. Even though it comes in the form of a coin, this is like a joker to me though. So this has that chaotic energy. We'll get into that, okay? We'll get into that. Let me turn this upside down so we don't skip over it. Starting with this. New work, new ways of doing work. Some of you are going to be, a lot of you fire signs are going to be starting some new jobs, or beginning the serious part of like switching careers, a new career, stepping into a new line of life work. Also, when I say work, I'm not just talking about a job. It could be your life work. All right, your life work. Especially we're talking, I don't know why Sagittarius is popping up here. Okay, because fire signs Leo. Okay, some of you are also going to be attracting an older. When I say older, I just mean older than you. So if you're 21 years old, okay, he could be 25. All right, he may not be rocking the old beard and shit like that. Okay, but this fire sign is going to be older than you. This is going to be a kind of a take charge type of guy. Okay, I got to say that to you. He's a leader. He knows where he's going. Okay, now doesn't mean he's not going to make mistakes, but just keep that in mind. So I don't know who that's for. All right, but also you fire signs out there, some of you have some litigation or legalities going on, or will discover that you do, or they will manifest themselves, but you will have them licked. Okay, you got this. You got it. All right. See, this is coming through several different ways. This is a time for a lot of you fire signs are tapping into your spiritual power. Make no fucking mistake about it. And I know it not just because I am too. All right. Because I know you are. All right. I know you are. New levels of shit. Some of you, I see some of you like you really starting to be able to like lucid dream really well, astral travel really well. Your faculties are fucking just popping like popcorn. Okay. Your spell work, the way you approach, when I say magic, I could be referring to law of attraction shit. However you manipulate energy in accordance with your will. And in order to do that, you actually have to have a will. Most people don't have a will. They think they do, but they don't. Okay. So props to you on that. I do want to say though, some of you fire signs though are dealing with energetic blocks. So when I hear energetic blocks, I'm thinking emotional blocks, energy and motion. Okay, so, and they're really not, it's not like there's an actual block in there. Like your artery could be blocked, but this is different. Okay, the energy might be moving in a different pattern, could be going in a different direction, or vibrating at another frequency that's creating incoherent results, which explains why in certain areas or with certain things you get these mishmashy results, or you regress. All right, you regress. But I look at the regression as this, because this is the way that we move. We're in a spiral, so we're either spiraling up or we're spiraling down, so to speak. That's the model I'm using. Okay, who knows what way we're actually fucking spiraling, right? But when you come back around to a certain area or a certain kind of piece of information or an area of interest, like for example, let's say you have certain areas or certain, forms of magic. And for a while you might mess with hoodoo, but then you go off and you mess with this particular thing, or then you get off into like palmistry, or then maybe you get into like Chinese face reading. But after a while you come back around to hoodoo again. But when you come back around to it, you're not the same person. It's a different perspective. You're looking at it with different eyes. You have experience now from other things. You feel me? So that's what I'm talking about. But when I say regressing, you could be spiraling down. Okay. Or maybe, I guess another way of saying that is devolving. 10 of Cups reversed. Some of you fire signs also really need to look after your emotional and mental health more so, and not ignore it, and not try and salve through it, not try and suppress it. And some of you are walking around with it repressed and you're not knowing. Repression is most of the time unconscious. Your subconscious mind has stuffed some shit away that you are not even aware of. And it's affecting you from inside the closet, inside the basement. It's still fucking with you. All right. Suppressing is when you're consciously trying to shove it down. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to fight thoughts or fight feelings, that's suppression. All right. And 12 of clubs. Some of you are going to be having a hard time also dealing with an Aquarius. Could be any air sign, but an Aquarius especially, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, or could be a Libra, or could be a Gemini. But yes, definitely an air sign. More than likely also a male. Some of you, there's a fire sign here. You're in a relationship with an air sign who's actually older than you, okay? And you're coming to the fork in the road with this relationship, and it's time to let it go, okay? It's time to let it go. Remember, every relationship, no matter how great, is going to end in tragedy, okay? Just a word of encouragement, because it's true, okay? Like I've often said, one of the 3 Ds is going to kick in: death, desertion, or divorce. Every single relationship that you have will end one of these 3 ways. All right. So you might as well face the music. All right. What does this have to do with, though? This has to do with kind of helter-skelter type of happenings, fluke happenings, accidents, chaos. Shit happens out of left field. Why does it not come out of right field? I don't know. But expect the unexpected. And the way that you expect the unexpected, the best way you can start, I guess, is practicing. When you hear non-attachment, right? Or just not being attached, not being reactive to every little thing that happens to you. All right. Just to be able to observe it. How about that? Let's put it in plain, simple English. All right. Just observe it. Okay. When somebody comes at you sideways, or somebody texts you randomly with some sideways shit, and you're kind of like, how fucking dare you? But before you go off and just allow yourself to be dragged by your emotions, because you fire signs, you got the passion, okay? You got the heat. Let's not front. We know that, all right? Just observe it. You're going to have emotions that are going to pop up, but they're also going to pop away as well, just as quick as they pop up, as long as you don't let them drag you and you don't feed them. Just observe, right? You don't have to take it in. All right, speaking of air signs, let's hit them air signs off, shall we? What about them air signs? What do I need to say about them air signs? What about them? Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What do we have for the air signs? New moon energy. The new. What's new coming in? What is it? Oh, y'all too? Shit. Probably like, what? Damn, lots of emotion. Lots of emotion. Okay, what's the hidden element? This is your hidden element. 11 of coins. Interesting. What's this called? El Caballero. El Caballero. The horse guy. Okay. But he's reversed. He's reversed. Let's start off with this. Okay. Some of you air signs. What is in front of you is the next step. But this step feels to you like it is some leap of faith. Okay? So what that tells me is, in your mind, you represent it as like this thing that seems maybe far away from you. Okay? You need to bring it closer in your mind, literally. Okay? In your imagination, like bring that shit closer. But the reason I say this is because it feels, like I said, like a leap of faith. Like a Hail Mary pass, okay? Part of the Hail Mary pass, the ones that actually get caught and the person actually scores a touchdown and then they're winning the game and shit, and then they lifting you up, pouring Gatorade over you, is because you had that moment of surrender. You just said, hey, you know what? This is what I don't know what else to do. Like, I just, I'm still going to make my move, but like, whatever it's going to be will be. And in that split second, you just reach this place of peace. It's very difficult to describe. In my opinion, it is, you know what I'm saying? But it is like this grand release, basically. It's a release. I also liken it as a form of like catharsis, like a form of catharsis, like spontaneous, emotional, just supernova, right? But you got this. So part of this is also showing me that y'all have been, that's part of the reason why some of y'all are so tired. You've been fighting this part of you because your soul's trying to like say, hey, bitch, we need to go this way. You know, and your ego, your mind, your intellect, you keep fighting that shit. You're like, oh, well, I don't know, I'm going to step. Like, you know, and it's like this, if you could just surrender and just be okay with not knowing, get comfortable with being uncomfortable type of thing. Man. Okay. But there's also, for some of you air signs, there's going to be this, for some of you, it's going to be maybe a sudden loss of employment, a sudden life-changing thing that happens like that, like a lightning strike that just it basically turns your life around. That doesn't necessarily mean it's negative or bad though. Okay. Because how you respond to that is going to say a lot. And it's going to set the tone for everything after this new moon. It may not be so grand as like a lightning bolt hits your house or you lose your job, okay? But it could be another type of change. The type of change that there is no returning back to however things were before that definitive moment, even if it's a smaller definitive occurrence or moment. Okay, am I making sense to you? And you know what? It's funny. This goes right along with this. What you're looking for is right on the other side of these pillars. See, the 11 is like pillars. You got to walk through the pillars, but right now you kind of got your little airy tail stuck between your ass cheeks right now. That's what's going on right now. And in typical air sign fashion, overthinking it, thinking. Listen, thinking ain't going to do shit for you. Thinking is not going to do nothing for you. And thinking is not designed to do everything for you. And the way in which we all think, not just the air signs, but the way that as a society we're conditioned that, you know, even worrying is more overthinking. It's not good. Thinking is the problem. It's not going to solve the problem. Trust me, I know. Okay. Six of Hearts too. Some of you air signs need to be, you know what? Y'all need to be, I just have to say this. Some of you air signs need to be, y'all need to forgive yourself, yo. For whatever it is, forgive yourself for it. Maybe you weren't the best fucking parent. Maybe you didn't take all the chances. You didn't live up to your potential. You didn't this, you didn't that. Or you did X, Y, Z and you're not proud of that. Okay, so fucking what? I think we need to get over that. I think we need to release ourselves from that. I think we need to forgive ourselves, number one. You need to actually be kind to yourself. Seriously, you need to actually forgive yourself. You need to actually look yourself square in the eye and tell yourself that you love yourself and I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? I forgive you. But really mean that shit. Don't just do it because you think you're going to get something for it. I mean, this is for you, to you, by you, from you, for fuck's sake. Do you got to be bribed to do that? You know what I'm saying? But also in releasing others who've slighted you, who've done you wrong, or who you feel have done you wrong. You got to let them out. You got to, as far as just let that shit go so you can move forward. All right. There is also a Pisces that's going to, some of you air signs are dealing with a Pisces. You're having some type of situation with a Pisces. You need to forgive, or a water sign. But I'm pulled to say a Pisces though, but it could be any of the water signs. Okay. This water sign may be older than you, and for many of you, it's going to be an older man, because whatever, like the guy was older than you. Could be a year older, could be 2 years, 3 years, or 10 years. Okay. But as you've probably seen in some cool little meme, you know, you can accept people as they are. You just place them where they need to be placed in your life. I have a saying where I say, I automatically, radically accept you, because I give myself radical fucking permission and radical acceptance of myself, so I can give you the same. Doesn't mean I'm going to fuck with you though. Doesn't mean I'm going to want to deal with you. But that's also because of the fact that I accept you, which means I'm not going to go in there and try and change you. No, this is you, and I accept you as you are now. I'm dealing with the you that you present to me right now, not what I think you could be or should be. Fuck all of that. Not in that business. All right. Thinking like God, turning your pessimism into, hey, why the fuck not? Why not me? Going from that to starting, for example, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Those of you who practice magic, who do some type of magic, or even if you just do, like you're on Neville Goddard's nutsack or whatever, and you're constantly licking balls over there, doing something like that, or law of attraction or whatever. And I like Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard was like one of my first esoteric teachers, if you will. But there's just, you know, a lot of people is like this church of Neville Goddard now, basically. But however you do your thing, right? You start off with from a place of certainty though. Like, you know it's going to work. Number one, most of you shoot yourself in the foot before you even light the candle, before you even do the ritual, before you even do the spell or do the affirmations or the whatever the fuck it is, because you're already in doubt and you're expecting the ritual or the affirmation to give you the certainty. I believe that you should be in that state of certainty now. If you think I'm going to give you a very easy exercise or practice that you could do. Briefly pretend that you are God or goddess. I mean, number one, because you are, okay? But if there was no limits, no bounds, and you can imagine yourself in front of you, petitioning you for this result that you want, right? Whatever it is, wouldn't you give it to yourself? It's a no-brainer, right? You got it. You know what I'm saying? You're looking sexy today. Of course I'll give it to you. You know what I mean? That type of shit. That's what this is telling me. See, the green dicks are pointing up, which means it ain't reversed. Because if it was, I'd be like, you're having a lot of you're overthinking. You're in negative Nancyville. Okay? You're in negative Nancyville. Now, some of you, as soon as you begin to do something and you start off with this place of, yes, it's going to happen, you have to stay in that, I don't give a fuck what happens in my life or what happens in the external events. I know this is happening. And matter of fact, whatever happens as soon as I'm done with this ritual or affirmation or whatever happens tomorrow is a part of that process, that unfolding. My will is unfolding successfully in divine timing, exactly as I fucking say it should. Because the reason I'm saying that, reminding you of that, is because some of you are going to lose, something's going to end. Okay. And primarily I'm being pulled to say a job, something like that. Someone's going to be losing their job. And, you know, in some ways, I guess you can say it's kind of like being tested. It's kind of like being tested. Because if you're going to talk that God shit, You got to walk that God shit. You know what I'm saying? Which means if something unexpected happens and out of your typical normal, like you wouldn't have said, well, I didn't say like make my job stop, but maybe that's exactly part of the process that needs to happen because your shit is coming to pass and you just cannot see it from your perspective. You have to know that. I mean, I don't know how to, can I just take that, put that in your head? I don't know how to, if I could give that to you, I would, but you got to cultivate that. It has to come. You got to pull it out your, pull it out your veggie lips or pull it out your nutsack that way. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. What are we on here? Water, fire, air, earth. My battery's about to die pretty soon too. So let's hope they don't cut me off. Earth signs. Earth signs, earth signs, earth signs, earth signs, earth signs. That makes sense to you, earth sign. Air signs. Blowing hot air. Did that make sense to you though? Because it's the truth. I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to give you the real. All right, earth signs. What do I need for the earth signs? You got the big kahuna right up front. You got the big Shango right up front. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. What is the hidden influence here? Okay, what is the hidden influence? Oh, shit. This is worry, but this is also some other things. 3 of Cups reversed. See, here's the big Shangito. All engorged in your face, okay? New plans, new insights. I've explained this before, but sometimes you have to take a step or two because, at first you might not be feeling nothing. I'm not getting no ideas. I'm not motivated. I think I'm going to just sit around and wait. Believe me, I've tried that. That shit don't work. No, you cannot force it, but if you just start taking some movements or steps in the direction without having the pressure of attachment, like, well, if I take this step, is it going to make it manifest? Just fuck all of that and just see what it is. Just explore, right? Then you start getting ideas. Momentum creates more momentum, all right? But these ideas, some of you earth signs are right on the verge to the right piece of information, the right move. There's a right plan. There's something new being birthed with this new moon. I'm telling you right now. But some of you earth signs still, wherever you go, there you are. Okay? Your underlying problem is some of you you don't know your own value. Or better said, you don't value yourself. And you're expecting to get this value from others or from your world to make up for what you have yet to give yourself. Quiet is kept. Now, for those of you with ears to hear, take that, okay? That's not a criticism. I'm just saying, have you looked here? Have you looked there? You looking everywhere else, but have you looked here? Everyone else cannot be the fucking problem. If everyone else is the fucking problem, guess what? You're the fucking problem. You are the common denominator. And this is not about blaming you, criticizing you, but the quicker you can become aware of how you're doing that, the quicker you can change that, the quicker you can alter that. Okay? Some of you are going to be you're going to be ending a relationship, or your relationship is going to be ending. All right. And I think this is another necessary step, just like I think the air signs, that you need to go through, because you've been riding the coattails of this relationship and kind of like, give me your love. And it's like, give yourself the fucking love first, right? For some of you too, and this is why I'm telling you this, because you may have ideas or plans and it seems like you're thwarted every time you turn somewhere. Every time you turn somewhere, thwarted. That's the reason why. Or when I say thwarted, I mean it's just not working out the way you want it to work out. Or you keep hitting your ceiling and you just can't break through that fucking ceiling. But somewhere inside, you know that you are meant to break that ceiling. You're not meant to just stay in this little space, my little earth sign. Okay? Also, please understand, sometimes delays are just what you need. Delays are not necessarily denials. Delays are not denials. So it's not necessarily a no, it's just not right now. Which means there may be some more preparatory things that you need to do. Maybe you need to get a little bit clearer on things. That's probably a big part of the problem. Maybe. But I do see some of you, if you do yourself right, I see this change of heart. And this change of heart to me is like movement. This is also like a sprouting. Okay, people are gonna be like, man, you got this different little glow about you. You got this little twitch in your eye now, or this little twinkle in your eye and shit. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Are you eating something different now? Are you vegan now or something or whatever? I don't know. But I think the reason why this relationship, those of you who are in a relationship right now, a lot of you earth signs, I'll tell you what's going on. And some of you know because you're the ones doing it, or you are also the ones doing it. But we got some three-wheel action going on. Okay, this is a little sneaky link fest going on here. Three of Cups, in my experience of my years of doing this shit, oftentimes means that. But it also is telling me about the underlying anxiety and worry that a lot of you earth signs are feeling. Some of you, you don't even know why, because there's nothing wrong. But yet there's this like little sense of this feeling in the background that makes you always scroll your phone. Or maybe if you're not scrolling your phone, you're eating something or whatever, but or you're doing something, you're smoking some weed, or you're doing whatever. Not that there's nothing wrong with smoking weed, but it's a form of distraction. You've even caught yourself a few times. You're like, what am I avoiding here? Like, I don't know, but there's this feeling like when it gets quiet or when I'm alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just have this uneasiness and I don't know what the fuck this is, right? And it's like there's peace, there's yourself, I guess you could say, or your soul, or you know, there's your spirit is like saying, hey, come here, like come here, just sit with me. I gotta tell you something. And you're no. I'm gonna, you know, I got something to do, and you know, you're always so busy, but busy doesn't mean productive, as we all know. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, but for some of you, these changes are coming because they need to come. They need to come. And like I said, some of you are distracting yourself because you got too blawed out in your regular life, so you're stepping out. You need some form of excitement. You know, someone's paying you a little attention, and this new person is like this new sense of novelty now. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to wear off after a while too. Whatever is new doesn't stay new forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have for you. All right. Be sure to check the comment section and get your ass over to SeanWithSray.com. Don't worry, when you get over there, the pop-up screen's going to pop up, and you're going to have a chance to get your very own custom spirit servant. Those who get their custom spirit servant by March 1st are also going to enter the Nature's New Year Prosperity and Wealth Extravaganza Ritual. Okay, that's on March 21st. You can automatically get in if you so choose. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's there for you. All right. So this is Shango Ray. It was good seeing you again. I'll see you when my training's done shortly. All right. Peace.